What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, standard American guy here today to react and learn about 10 things that shock tourists about Canada. I'm a tourist. I'm a would-be tourist. I've never been to Canada, but at some point in my life, I would love to go. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be in the mind of a tourist of Canada that is ready to be shocked. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like a lot of Americans consider Canada and America to be quite similar. We talk very similarly. Our cultures are very similar. The only thing I think about when I think of Canadians maybe is their pronunciation of sorry. And, I hope I did that right. And that Canadians are very nice. Honestly, I don't have a bad thing to say. That's what I think about, and they like maple syrup. I'm gonna end up saying that in every video somehow. That's gonna come up about how I don't understand the maple syrup thing. But anyway, I am very interested to see if these 10 things actually shock me. I hope they do, to be honest. So let's find out.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in Vancouver, British Columbia, here on the west coast of Canada.
Okay.
And today what we have for you are the 10 things that shock tourists when they come here to beautiful Canada.
Okay.
And the thing is, before I get started my top 10, I want you to know, shock number 0, something you should know, Canada is not a frozen wasteland all year round.
Oh my gosh! How does he know that is a thing? That is a thing Americans think. I'm stuck. I can't talk. I'm stuck. I can't. I can't speak. I'm having a problem. I never realized it, but that's absolutely true. We do think Canada is just covered in snow and cold. I don't know why I have that picture in my mind. Anyway, wow.
I know a lot of people have this impression that it's polar bears and snow
Yeah.
everywhere in Canada. Here in Vancouver, it hardly ever snows, okay?
Wow.
And the rest of the country, it's not snowing cold all year round. Look, 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 look.
Wow, I was just kidding about earlier. I was never gonna touch this cold wasteland, but now I'll definitely come, now that I see how nice the weather is.
Look, shorts, t-shirt, okay? So that's one thing I want to get out of the way before we even get started.
I'm already shocked. I mean, this was number 0 out of 10, and I'm already shocked. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle this.
All right? Now, let's get started with the actual shocks when you do come here.
Oh,
the
gosh.
first thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada is how friendly and kind and helpful the Canadian people are.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I didn't know if this was true or not. Now my expectations are my bar is gonna be set so high when I go to Canada one day. If every single person I meet isn't super friendly and helpful, I'm gonna be like, that guy on YouTube lied to me. My life is a lie. I was told everyone is very nice here, but really, I bet you could actually do a scientific study. I bet on average, the average Canadian is nicer than the average American.
I know you have all these jokes about everybody's there, buddy, 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 but honestly, I've come to Canada multiple times. It's actually the first foreign country I ever went to. And the people, since I was 8 years old till now, have always been fantastic.
Wow, what a great kind of stereotype to have about your country, right? To be the nicest people. It's good stuff. It's probably true.
When I've met Canadians, when I've traveled and other places around the world, the people are super nice. And you're shocked that, man, it's not a show. They really are super friendly. And
A show, like they're all pretending. As soon as you leave, all the Canadians just immediately change, and they're like, ugh, F that guy, God. And they're just pretending to be nice for, God, I don't know what reason they'd be putting on some kind of act for. I hope that's not how it is.
super helpful and super nice. And yes, they do say sorry a lot, but the thing is they are super kind, and that's one thing that shocks people. It's like, wow, they really are as nice as people say they are. Yes, they are. Yes, of course, there's some jerks, but there's jerks everywhere. But in general, you'll be shocked how nice and helpful they are. So if you have any problems, you don't know the direction you should go, you don't know where you should eat, which beer is the best beer to have, make sure you ask a local. They'll definitely help you out. Now,
can Canadians tell when an American is asking them a question? Or if it wasn't so obvious, can Canadians pick out an American in Canada just by a brief interaction with them? Is there something that gives us away? I'd be very interested to know the answer to that. Because I feel like I could talk to a Canadian and probably not. There's nothing really. I guess at the end of the day, you'd somehow have to sense a cultural difference in speaking with them somehow. That'd be the only identifiable difference. Maybe in how they talk, of course. Slight inflections on words. But I don't know if you can sense a different attitude. Like, I could just think, oh, you're a really nice American. You're not necessarily a Canadian. But can Canadians sense an American in their presence?
The second thing that shocks tourists when they come here is, you have these nice people and they actually give nice service. But the thing is, the second shock is that the prices that those nice people tell you are never the end price that you actually pay.
What? What does that mean? That would not fly in America. We're very cheap. Very aggressive. We want to know how much it costs. Up front. No deception.
Look, here in Canada, you'll be shocked that there's sales tax and tipping when you come here. So the price is never what you actually pay.
So the sales tax and tipping, like a tip is added automatically at the end? I've heard of this. I didn't know this was a Canadian thing. You don't have to tip, it's just included. Because in America, we really do tip based on what we personally think of the service in that individual scenario, that specific instance. We kind of judge. Yeah, we judge the service every time, and we're like, okay, I'm going to give them my default amount of tip. I'm going to give them a little more because I really liked them. And, I mean, I think most Americans are guilty of this. If they think they experienced bad service, they'll leave a bad tip. That's definitely something that happens.
And the thing is, the sales tax they have here in Canada is different by provinces, okay? So you might have what's called, you'll see GST, okay? Goods and services tax, 5% here in Vancouver. Or if you're in Ontario, you might see HST, harmonized sales tax.
Wow.
And over on the east, it could be 13 to 15% added onto your bill. So you'll have your price, you'll go to pay, and then that'll be added on the end. So don't think that one loony thing you're buying is going to be one loony. It might have another 5 cents put on top of it, okay?
Yeah.
So do have a heads up for that one. That kind of shocks.
That's a good tip. I can see where that would shock people. Americans would be like, what's going on? Am I getting conned? Am I getting deceived? We would interpret it as ripping us off or something if we didn't know what was happening.
People. Another thing that shocks them is that when you go out to eat, you do have to tip. And just like other places, like in the U.S., it's 15 to 20% that you tip on top of your food bill, okay? So just remember.
Okay, never mind. Oof. I was reading his title here. Boop, boop. At the bottom, tipping and added taxes. And for some reason, I interpreted that as tipping is automatically added for some reason. But sounds like he's saying tipping is the exact same. So apologies for that unnecessary explanation of tipping that you're probably well aware of.
You do have to tip. And just like other places, like in the U.S., it's 15 to 20% that you tip on top of your food bill. Okay, so just remember, you have your money to pay. Always have at least another 15% just to be sure to cover those prices. Okay,
right.
So that's one thing you should know. But what's cool about it when you do go out to eat here with friends, they split the bill really easily, which shocked me because my cheap friends can't pawn stuff off on me. So that's really cool. Okay.
Trying to like push the fries off on your friend onto their bill somehow. Wow.
Because it's already split up. No, dude, that was yours. So you have that. Now, the third thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada is how huge Canada is. I mean, it's one of the largest countries by size in the entire world. You know, when you look at the map, you're like, it's huge. Like, oh, that's just the map skewing the size. No, even if you put it on a globe, the country is huge.
I mean, when I look at a map of Canada, which I will, because why not? Because I can. Because of Google Maps. I mean, now that I look at it, now that he says it's huge, now I just can't stop thinking about how huge it is. But if you had asked me before, I would have said it was big. definitely large, but man, with this scale here, did I never notice this until he just put it in my brain? Canada is huge. Wait, he's exactly right. How did he know this would happen? What? I'm freaked out.
Okay, and so when you talk, and I've talked to travelers that are coming here, they're like, oh, I'm going to fly in Toronto, then I'll go over to Quebec City, and then we'll go to Vancouver. I'm like, that's insanely huge. I hope you're going to fly. Look.
Right, yeah, because if you go to somewhere like the UK, you probably can travel around fairly easily because it's all an island that you can get from place to place on. There's only so much physical land mass to go on. But places like the US and Canada are so big, this is just kind of another similarity, where you really would want to fly, although Canada almost seems like it was bigger, at least left to right. So maybe it's even more common that you have to fly around.
If you get a chance, WestJet's really nice. Air Canada, I've always had a good time with them too.
Wow.
No problems with either one. Make sure you use those flights to go places because the drives are insanely long. Okay. Also, that insanely long, sometimes you see funny things like we drove from Prince Edward Island to Toronto, so we didn't use our own advice, but we stopped along the way and we noticed that the moose signs, as you got closer to Prince Edward Island, PEI, the moose got bigger and bigger. So
moose signs? Moose signs. This isn't even part of the list, but moose signs. I guess you got a lot of moose. What's the plural of mooses? Moose. Wait. Moose. Plural. Please help me. Moose is moose. Mooses. Meese. Moose. Okay. Okay. Enough of that. You got plenty of moose around there.
I'm kind of scared for the moose, whatever they're eating in PEI. Must be pretty fortified, okay? But honestly, the country is huge, and make sure you plan accordingly. So maybe what you do is you plan regions. Like, hey, I'm going to do the West Coast. So
this is a good tip, by the way. This is actually very useful to a tourist. So kudos.
Vancouver and Victoria and stay around here. Maybe go over to Calgary. It's still kind of far, but Banff and stuff like that. Kind of put those together, and then do like a Quebec City, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto.
What's this kid doing on this cannon?
Like that kind of.
Hey. Get off that cannon. That's a historical artifact. No, it's probably fine. He's just kind of looking funny on the cannon. It's okay.
Put those together. And then do like a Quebec City, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto trip. Focus on those areas because otherwise you're going to be spending...
What's this giant tomato soup? I can't even pay attention to this video when we got giant pigeons on a giant can of tomato soup. What's going on here? What's the backstory of this? You can't just gloss over this. What?
So much time in the car going places that kind of takes away from your trip, okay? Now, the fourth thing that shocks people when they come to Canada is how beautiful Canada is. I mean, the natural beauty of...
This wouldn't shock me. Although, Americans sure don't know Canada for its natural beauty. Maybe that's what he's alluding to. When I think of Canada, I really did think of cold and winter, to be honest. And maybe forest and mountains. Moose and syrup. But I would totally believe that there's tons of natural beauty to be found in Canada.
Canada, whether you're going to Whistler or you're going to Banff around here or the mountains just there or going out whale watching here in Vancouver, or you're like, well, maybe I don't like the West Coast. Oh, then go to PEI and have the red beaches there and go there and see the views from there and the islands there, or go check out Niagara Falls or go to the dozen...
Wait, where is Niagara Falls? What? Niagara Falls. Can I just get Google installed in my brain already? So I don't have to keep going back to it. Ontario, Canada. I feel dumb. I feel dumb. I feel like I should know this one. I'm sorry. I've let everyone down, not knowing where that Niagara Falls was in Canada. What the heck? Am I living in a simulation here?
Dozens and dozens of
Where are there giant pigeons on cans of tomato soup in Niagara Falls too? What?
National parks and the provincial parks and all the beauty and beautiful nature that's around.
Look at that barge down there. They really get you that close to the falls? I'd be peeing myself. I'd be like, what are you doing, Captain? We're getting close. I can see it. I can see the falls. It is very visible. Can you start turning us around, but in a very tight U-turn so we don't get closer somehow?
Canada, because that's honestly for me the number one reason to come to Canada is the nature. It is gorgeous. So wherever you're going to go, make sure you pack a pair of hiking boots or a pair of hiking shoes so you can walk out and take a hike, okay? Whether you're here in Vancouver or Toronto's a little bit tough, but you can get to a provincial park relatively close to Toronto and check things out because that natural beauty here, you just sit there and take picture after picture after picture.
Wow.
I remember I was going through the lakes and the little islands along the U.S.-Canada border. I'm just like, snap, snap, snap. I'm like, why do I keep taking pictures of the same kind of stuff? Because it is so beautiful.
Yeah, that's definitely not something Americans appreciate enough about Canada. The natural beauty, the natural wonders. Yeah, I learned something today. Wow.
Now, the fifth thing that shocks tourists when they come here is how much the Canadians really, really love hockey. Really love hockey.
Hockey. This is another thing Americans kind of know about Canada. We do associate a love for hockey to Canada, but that goes along with how we think Canada is very cold and covered in ice and snow, and that's why you play hockey, ice hockey. That was like our logical validation for it, but now I don't know what to think.
I know we're passionate about sports in the U.S. and they're passionate about sports in Europe and stuff like that, but hockey isn't just a sport here. It's a way of life.
Wow. So it's real. The love of hockey is real. That's cool, because it seems like no other nation kind of specializes in hockey. And it's actually like a super cool sport. They never showed on TV in America, but it's super cool. And it's cool that at least somewhere it's taken very seriously. Although, don't get me wrong, we have the NHL in America, so it's certainly taken very seriously here, but not to the level of Canadians. So I mean that as a compliment.
Okay, it's the de facto ad for every single product sold. If you watch TV, you will find some channel that's talking about hockey, whether it's in season or out of season. And you can watch games. If you get a chance to go to a hockey game here in Canada, in one of the big cities or go to one of the more minor leagues, check it out. It's a fun...
I would definitely check out a live hockey game. I've never been to one. Never.
Fun thing to do. But what's crazy for me is whenever I watch TV and I see commercials and stuff like that, the typical commercial I see in Canada, it's a mom picking up her kids or dropping her kids off at hockey practice.
So hockey is like that deeply entrenched in Canada. It really is like how football is to Americans. Hockey is to Canadians. Perfect example.
Or she's talking to her friends at hockey practice. That's how it is, whether you're talking about medicine, tissues,
what does the
cars.
dinosaur say?
It's always mom at hockey practice. That's how much it is a part of the culture here. So when you do come, you're looking for a fun thing to take home with, grab yourself a Canucks hat or get yourself a Maple Leaf jersey, or actually for me, I think actually the Winnipeg Jets have the coolest hat. But for me, the Nordiques.
Okay.
You're right there. You may be gone, but you're still right there. Okay? Just so you...
Winnipeg Jacks? Is that what he said? Winnipeg Jacks? Jets? Sounded like he said, Jets. Jets on a maple leaf. Cool. What was he saying he liked so much? Their hats? They got a cool logo. That is a cool logo. Maybe that's what he meant. Okay.
Hockey is really Canada. That's what's going to shock you. And following on with that hockey kind of stereotype thing is the maple syrup type stereotype thing. And that is the sixth thing is how much maple syrup really is in almost everything here.
Is it true? Is it true or not? I just want to know. Can someone tell me, are they obsessed with maple syrup? Because Americans really do believe that. And I'm starting to think our belief is justified. So, if maple syrup flavor isn't everything, maple syrup is delicious. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know how this started. Where did the addiction begin? I just want to know.
Now, not everything, but you'll be surprised how many maple syrup infused, flavored, covered in dishes and treats and snacks and mints and things they have here in Canada.
Mints? What? You can't be having maple syrup flavored chips and mints and stuff. now we're just getting out of hand. We're getting out of control. I don't know if I can approve of this addiction anymore. Like, come on, man.
It's all over the place. My son loved the maple mints. I'm like,
Imagine I got a maple mint and I was like, I love this. This is the best mint I've ever had in my life. And I'd have to just keep it a secret because now I've claimed that I can never like maple mints.
Maple syrup? Yeah, I can put that on. Sure, I had one. They called the French Canadian pizza. They put maple syrup on it too with bacon and stuff.
Maple syrup on pizza. I could almost see it working. I hate to admit it. I don't know. I don't know if my mind would allow me to accept it and enjoy it. It would look wrong to me, but it might be good. Maybe maybe anything just goes with pizza. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say.
Like, that was really good. But seriously, the maple syrup thing is next level here. So for a tourist, get some maple syrup to take home. You will appreciate it because, oh my God,
okay,
it is so good up here. But it really is a real thing. Like, it's not just a joke. It's shocking.
Yeah, see, he's calling it's like a joke. It does seem kind of like a joke to an American. Like, okay, we've gone on far enough with the maple syrup thing. We're kidding, right?
How much maple syrup is up here in Canada. Now, the seventh thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada is français. Yes, French. Yes,
French.
If you're going into Quebec, you need to know a little French. Okay?
Yes.
Now,
Americans are aware of this. I think a lot of Americans are aware of this. Not all. That, there's the term French Canadian that I'm aware of. I didn't exactly know about the Quebec French ties there. I just know there are parts of Canada that speak French. I totally know that. So this makes sense.
People speak English there, no big deal. But you'll see everything's in French there. At least in the menus, it's like French is this size font and then English is this size font.
So are Canadian citizens in Canadian education taught to be somewhat bilingual? Because you have French as like a major language being spoken in a major city in your country. Do a lot of Canadians learn French as well, even if they don't live in Quebec or a French-speaking area? I'd be really interested to know that.
Okay, you will see that. And the thing, though, is though there is French and it is an official language of Canada, the actual shocking part is once you get out of Quebec and like the provinces right on Quebec's edges, you actually don't hear French very much at all.
There you go. Thank you for answering my question. Yeah, it's just very regional. Okay.
In Vancouver, I think the only people we've heard speaking French are tourists from France and tourists from...
Poutine, the must-eat of Quebec. What is this? Poutine. 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 This is that French fries and cheese and gravy thing. My God. You know what makes me most disturbed? That this is probably delicious. It's probably freaking delicious, and I hate to admit it.
Quebec, okay? So a lot of people, like in the U.S., were taught, oh, it's English and French, and everyone speaks English, and everybody speaks French, like, equally fluently. It's not that way.
Okay.
Just in Quebec, okay? Just in Quebec, French, all right?
Good to know.
Outside that, don't worry about it. Now, the eighth thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada, and one thing I love about it is how safe you feel when you do come to Canada. Look, the country's huge, so there's times that you're alone.
I mean, there's only certain parts of America, certain cities, certain areas, where you genuinely feel completely unsafe. And that is very true. That's very true that you do feel unsafe. But it's only in certain parts of America. Otherwise, you feel safe. You feel safe. But I could definitely see how, given like a more Canadian way of life and culture, how you could feel like genuinely the safest possible, just carefree safety living in Canada. I could see where that could be like a way of life.
How many people have walked behind me on this beach in this city of 3 million people almost? Nobody. Okay, I think there's one guy that went by. You can have these empty spaces, you can be alone, or you can be in the city, and you feel safe. It's one of the best things about coming to Canada is this safety. Low crime rates, all kinds of stuff like that.
maybe that's what it is too. Just because crime happens in America, it's maybe, I don't know what the crime rates are, but it's all you hear about in American media and news is crime and murder. So that definitely gives you a general sense of danger and dread when you just are hearing about these horrible things happening all over the nation, even if it's not near you. It's what you're hearing about. So if the crime levels in Canada overall are lower, that would contribute to more of an overall sense of safety in the public.
Great. And as a traveler, travel with your kids and stuff like that, it is an amazing feeling. Now, having said that, obviously there's certain parts of town, like there's parts of Vancouver you don't go to, in Toronto you
Sure.
don't go to. Yeah,
Sure.
but in general, just common travel sense for safety, you're going to be fine. And it's
cool.
so great to relax and be able to put my bag over there and film and stuff like that. It's on.
He's absolutely right about just little things like that. Anywhere in America, you would never leave your things, your phone, your bag, anything. You'd never leave it and walk away for a minute. Everyone would take their belongings with them over leaving it unattended, no matter where you go in America. So maybe that says something.
Awesome. I think the only safety things you need to worry about is maybe, if you're going to be going in the national parks and stuff like that, the bears, you don't feed the bears. Don't feed the wildlife, okay?
I won't.
That's your probably most dangerous things, okay? Because bears, they like people a lot. No. You'll see t-shirts with it, all right? So just have a heads up for that one.
What?
Now, the ninth
this a
thing that's
thing?
going to shock you when you come here is that you're going to make
Okay.
a best friend. Yes, and your best friend, his name is Tim Horton. Look, if you're not sure, Tim Hortons is a restaurant chain. It's like a coffee shop. It's like Dunkin' Donuts. And
What? I was like, what is he talking about? I ain't making no friends. I don't have friends. You're not becoming my friend, random Canadian. That's that's the American in me coming out. I'd be friends with Canadians. Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons. Fast food restaurant. Oh, known as Tim's or Timmy's. Fast food based in Toronto. Coffee, donuts, and other fast food. Okay. I mean, what's on the menu? Since I'm here, why not? Look at this. Their menu is so fancy it needs a loading bar. I do like the loading bar, though. Okay, coffees, breakfast. Just kind of like a really nice general food store. A little more detailed than that, actually. These look very nice. Whoa! Cakes, muffins, everything looks so fresh. Wow. I would go to Tim Hortons every day.
a Subway and a Starbucks kind of mixed together with a big dose of Canada, like super nice people. The donuts are really good.
Oh,
okay,
look at this little place. This is nice. Yeah, it's like a bit more than a fast food joint. It's a combination of almost a mall restaurant with a fast food joint. Just a bit more upscale, a little more homey. Yeah, this is nice.
10 bits, little tiny ones. Pick some of those up. But you'll be shocked how Tim Hortons becomes one of your friends. Because think about it. Tim Horton is there when you need him. Right, just like your friends are. Oh, I need some breakfast. Oh, there's a Tim Hortons across the street. Oh, we're on a highway, man. I wish someone could give me a...
Thing is, I bet he's not wrong. I bet I would be thinking that, like, bad day today. Where's Timmy's? Where's old Timmy's?
Chance to take a break from driving. Oh, there's Tim Hortons over there. And you pull off and it's there and it gives you a chance to relax. But also, Tim Hortons is there when you don't want him there. When you're in your bad moods. Oh, I need some coffee. Tim Hortons is there for you in the morning. I mean, it's funny how they're all over the place, okay? And the thing is the people are nice, the food's good, the donuts are the best for me, and it's all over the place. So if you're a tourist, and especially if you have to pay for breakfast at your hotel, don't. Just go to the Tim Hortons. Believe me, there's one down the street. Just go at your hotel.
I like how he makes it sound like they're everywhere. Are they literally everywhere? Are they like McDonald's in America? That sounds like McDonald's. There's a McDonald's everywhere I turn my head. There's a McDonald's in this room. But we're there. There's a McDonald's there. No, but but everywhere you look in America, like only streets apart, just a couple miles apart, another McDonald's. It doesn't even make sense geographically. Is that kind of what Tim Hortons is?
Take a right. It'll be right there, okay? You'll see them. And that's what's so shocking about it. It's like, wow, you know, until you come to Canada, you don't realize how Tim Hortons and how a restaurant chain can become your friend, all right?
Okay.
And the 10th thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada are all the Canadianisms. Look, all those fun things you hear about Canada, sometimes it really does happen. Yes, the maple syrup addiction and the hockey addiction.
Canadianisms. I like that.
And yes, I talked about that. But yes, their flag, they're very proud. You come here, wow, you love your country. Why shouldn't they? The place is gorgeous. And you'll see the flags flying and stuff like that.
Okay.
When you have some of the treats, beaver tails, oh my God, it's like fried dough with some cinnamon sugar on top. It's amazing. You're in Ottawa, grab some or anywhere.
So he's kind of saying all of the little Canadian things that Americans blow out of proportion and define Canada by. Kind of silly. Canada is fully okay with like saying, no, we love that too. That certainly does represent part of us. And so yeah, here's your syrup and your Tim Hortons and your and your cow chips.
Tails, oh my God, it's like fried dough with some cinnamon sugar on top. It's amazing. You're in Ottawa, grab some or anywhere if you can, get them. Or for me, the life-changing event of coming to Canada is having poutine, which is French fries and cheese curds with gravy on top. And if you can get it with the pulled pork on there too, oh my God.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm coming around to the poutine. It sounds pretty darn good.
Life-changing. Yeah, having some smoked meat. Yes, yes. Have that salmon candy. Have that copa. Have those things out there. Their meat is so good here, whether it's a sandwich or just eating it and with your friends and stuff like that. Yes, they do have the ketchup chips. And yes, they do have the milk in the bags like we were talking.
Ketchup chips? Salmon candy? Okay. I mean, I guess I'd try it.
There's so many great little Canadian things. Yes, you'll hear them say sorry a lot, like I talked about before. And occasionally you will hear them say, eh? You know what I'm talking about, eh?
Hey, I forgot about A. That's an American thing. We think that Canadians say A a lot. Apparently they don't.
You will hear that A, not as much as you used to, sadly, but it still shows up. And that's what's so cool about it, is you get to have this great time with a good spirit to go along with it. So do have a great time when you are here in Canada. I will not be shocked if you do, because the people are nice. You got some cool food, you got some amazing nature, and just an overall great time. So if you like this video, we really do appreciate your like, subscription.
Okay, I think that's it. That was great. Wolters World, W-O-L, Wolters World. Very nice video. I like this guy a lot. That was very entertaining. And some good points as well. Wow. This video made me want to go to Canada more than I ever realized. Almost everything he said was positive, or, you know, the crime rates are low. What else was there? I mean, how large it was, the natural beauty, hockey, maple syrup. Oh, how safe it is. Tim Hortons, poutine, how friendly everyone is. Yeah, this place looks, just looks pretty amazing, honestly. And Americans, I wish they could all see a video like this, because when Americans think of Canada, they don't think straight away of all these numerous great things that are in ways better than how America does certain things. If that were more evident, more prevalent, that this message, this truth, if you will, I think even more Americans would visit Canada, but then it'd be overflown and I wouldn't get it all to myself. So, you know, selfishly, I'll keep this a secret, but no. I'll spread the word. Canada is pretty awesome, and I genuinely believe that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this reaction, feel free to leave a like or a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canadian geography and culture and things, rules, differences that I never knew, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.